I left my dog alone in the apartment for 3 hours, and when I got home, the stove burner was on full blast and the smoke alarm was going off.
Yikes. Am I a bitch for scolding the gardener after he cut down my favorite tree?
No, that's very rude of him. When it's hot enough that I have to take more than one shower per day, it's too hot.
Got woken up by fireworks last night, and it's only June 15th.
Have such a good day. Hello, world, and welcome to Have Such a Good Day, the show that is guaranteed to make you have one.
There's a seal of approval, and if you don't have a good day, then give us a call. We don't have a phone number.
We're like the Men's Warehouse. We guarantee it. Or your money back. Actually, your money won't come back.
No, it won't.
Hey, if anybody hears some big old trucks doing that beep, beep, beep when the reverse and various leaf blowers, it's a wild day over at the Lane residence today. There's all sorts of construction going on around us, so we're just powering through like the champs that we are.
We are. It's like a massive playground redo. It's a big deal, and it's loud.
The kids are gonna love it next year.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, but old Grandma Lane here is like, stop. Why do the trucks? The reverse beeping. I don't even mind the sound of construction. Mm-hmm. It's more or less white noise.
Okay.
And it doesn't happen when I'm sleeping or anything. So, and it's nice and serene and quiet, when I need it to be. But the beeping of the backing up.
I can't.
And I know that it's all for safety measures. I get it. But it's just the worst.
I think it's the repetition, because it bugs me too. Like sometimes those UPS trucks will stop and they'll be off, delivering packages, but they'll leave the beeping on. It's like
anybody who's been listening or watching the show for long enough realizes Heather and I have very specific things that bother us, and they tend to come up over and over, like the incessant beeping, the repetitive noise.
I think? I think there's new weird diseases that come up, like mental diseases with the modern world, because there's things that are repetitive, and I think that people maybe have real sensitivity to noise or smells or whatever. It might be like a weird, like ADHD type of new disease that to the modern world I don't know. I think that new things crop up all the time, and they're more like maybe a disorder, not a disease, more of like a mental disorder.
Yeah.
Where it's like you have a generalized anxiety disorder, but maybe it's very specific to noise. I wonder about that.
There was a recent Radiolab episode. Mm-hmm. I had been a little behind. Radiolab is a podcast. It's very popular. WNYC produces it. It's so good. Just week after week,
it is fabulous.
Very well done and researched.
Really
and
well produced.
Fascinating topics. Anyway, I was a little behind, and I was on a run this morning with Otis the dog, who's at our feet right now because he likes to be part of the show. Mm-hmm. And it was a few episodes back, and it was based on, gosh, I don't even know how to describe it. I'll try to summarize it easily. It was based on kind of an opioid epidemic in, kind of in the middle of the country. Specifically, this was Kentucky, I think, possibly Tennessee. And so they were kind of focusing on some folks and a lot of personal stories. But the overall point was that fentanyl, which it's like a synthetic opioid and like super dangerous, and it's causing a lot of people to OD when used inappropriately. There's a school of thought that if like you're treating somebody that like might have like some powder, because it's often used as a patch, like some powder on their body, and you get it on your body and you absorb it, then you're gonna like OD. And it's like, it's sort of far-fetched, but enough people are claiming that it happened.
Has it happened a lot?
Yeah. Enough so that it's like, okay, what's going on here?
Sure.
Type thing. And I'm not making this succinct at all, but there's sort of this another theory that based on kind of like psychosomatic, psychological stress, and a lot of like, especially like people who are working as EMTs and helping people who have OD'd, and the whole thing is like, very life or death anyway, can kind of like create these symptoms inside themselves that are very real to them, and not like they're faking it, not like purposely. And so it was super fascinating. I'm not actually even done with the episode yet. I came home before I was done.
Very cool. It's funny, I've heard stories about fibromyalgia or whatever that disease is supposed to be like a figment of your imagination. Like it's something that the doctors...
I know somebody who has it. She would not like that.
Yeah, I know that it's controversial, but I have read articles about that's what doctors tell you have if they can't, diagnose you.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean,
well, yeah, we are not medical professionals here on this show. That's for damn sure. But
we're a very unique kind of professional.
Right, yes, we're professional clowns. Yeah. Hey, so just real quick, if you're new to the show, Heather Frank and Sarah Lane, that's Heather, I'm Sarah. And everybody mixes us up, by the way, totally. On our Instagram, which is at HSGD show. If you're not following us, you should. Anytime there's a picture of Heather, I'll get a bunch of people who like respond to me like in DMs being like, you look so cute. And I'm like, that's fucking Heather. But like she does look cute, but like that's not me, right? And someone will always be like either like the conversation ends or they're like, ooh, oh, never mind.
Like wah wah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. Same with the voice. Like there are new people that will ping me like, oh, I love your show. I've just started listening. I can't really tell the difference between like people who don't know me that well and they still can't decipher between you and me, which I know we have different voices.
We have different voices, but they're not wildly different.
They aren't wildly different.
I think we've kind of got sort of an alto thing, both of us. Like,
yeah, we do.
If I had like a funny voice, like you'd be able to really
or if I talk like Tom Waits.
Right. You should start getting real gravelly.
No, I love it.
Start smoking.
I know. I'm going to start smoking a carton a day. Actually,
do it for the show.
Take one for the team. Yeah. I actually saw the new Jim Jarmusch movie last night, and Tom Waits, is often in his movies. And he's
what's the name of the movie?
The Dead Don't Die.
Oh, okay.
And it's
I'd not heard of
movie.
It.
It's getting terrible reviews, but it's great. It's very chuckle worthy, and it's a sweet little movie. But there's so many good like actors in it, and Tom Waits plays this character actor. He just shreds me. He's so funny. He's such a good character actor, and his voice, he narrates it. He has the coolest, most gravelly voice. It's like when I hear it, I want to like go to sleep and like put his voice on. Like, I don't know, there's something soothing about his voice. He's amazing.
It's funny. Leonard Cohen, another gravelly voice.
Love Leonard Cohen.
He was on Fresh Air. This is a couple years ago.
I heard that one.
Yeah. In fact, it may have been something that was rerun and that actually happened some time ago.
Like the best of or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. And it was funny, like Terry Gross, who's the host of Fresh Air, beloved host, she was like, yeah, your voice over time has become, sort of, I think she actually used the term gravelly, and, she's painting a picture of how it's gotten a little, sort of deeper and older over time. And she was like, do you think that's because you smoke cigarettes? And he was like, yeah, I do. And that was sort of like the end of it, where I'm like, way to be like, Captain Obvious there, Terry.
Yeah, it's not as romantic as it sounds.
Right? It's kind of like guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what will happen to you. And like, I don't know, some people have great voices, but in general, it's not like a thing you're going for.
I don't know if you're born with a gravelly voice.
Well, not a smoker voice.
No.
The smoker voice, you can pick those out.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of, gosh, wonderful. I had a smile plastered on my face when I was in the park the other day. And it's funny, people were like turning their heads like, what is wrong with that girl? But I was like, I was listening to a podcast. It was an interview with Mark Maron and David Letterman. Wonderful interview, actually, because he doesn't get interviewed that often, David Letterman, and you hear a lot about his early life. Yeah. Very, very interesting, actually, to learn about how
for being such a great interviewer over the years. He is surprisingly he's kind of like shy about himself.
He is kind of shy, and I didn't know a lot of these stories. He had these anecdotes from when he first started out because he thought he would be a stand-up, but he wasn't really a stand-up. He was definitely a funny guy. Yeah. But hearing him and Mark, they had great chemistry. It was really cool. I highly recommend it. But I will warn you, if you do listen to something that's funny, perhaps our show occasionally, and you're in,
you better be laughing.
Yeah, you better. And you're in public. Just know that sometimes that can look a little suspect.
There are certain podcasts I listen to. Bodega Boys is a great example. I mean, it's just laugh out loud funny at times, and I'm usually on the move. I'm walking or jogging or running errands or whatever. And yeah, I will be laughing out loud.
Yeah,
you can see that I've got Bluetooth headphones in my ear, so I figure people assume I'm listening to something, but I do look slightly crazy.
Oh yeah, you do.
And I'm not really trying to be like. but like it's still sort of like what she's alone.
Well, yeah, it's funny. You can tell when someone's on the phone and they're laughing, and you get that. But it's like when you have a one side, like they're not talking, you're just laughing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Intermittent laughing.
Anyway, speaking of laughing and funny, we're going to try another fun game in this episode's bonus topic.
Oh, what's that,
discussion?
Heather? A fun game.
Yeah, we actually, we're hoping that all of you bonus topic people are contributing to our polls that we post weekly about what you guys want to have us do for the discussion topic.
Yeah, and if
there's all kinds of things we can do.
If you're sort of like, well, I'm a patron, like how do I patreon.com/have such a good day in the feed itself, along with new episodes and some of our bonus content. Heather does post a poll each week that we want everyone to participate in because we want to give you what you want.
Exactly. And we can talk about another sort of news item or like something going on in the world, that kind of thing. And I've posted those options, but a lot of you seem to like these games. So we're going to try another one today and see how that goes. So today's game is going to be, will you press the button? A lot of you have probably heard of this. Mm-hmm. This is essentially, giving a scenario, like a positive scenario, like you can read minds, and then there's always a downside. So if you press the button, you get the good side, but you always have to have the downside. So the downside, so you can read minds is the positive, but you can't talk for 30 minutes after you read a mind is like the downside. That's just an example. So,
well, I'll just go ahead and press the button on that one. All I have to do is be quiet for half an hour. Easy.
See, so fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a bunch of these at Sarah at the end of the show. It's going to be really fun. And she's just going to have to either press the button or she's going to have to find an exit.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah. So it's either, like press the button or eject.
Or die.
Or I'll just choose death as an option and we'll leave it at that.
How was your week, Sarah?
It was good. I mentioned at the top of the show that my dog almost burned down my neighborhood, and that is true. I've got a wonderful dog who has separation anxiety.
Sure.
Doesn't like to be left alone in the house. I work from home, so he doesn't actually get left alone all that much. And this is a good thing and a bad thing for a variety of reasons. But for the most part, I'll come home and like he ate some avocados. So now I know like got to put the avocados away if I leave. And there are all sorts of things that I've figured out are triggers for him. He also gets like lots of like fun treats when I leave now. So he like is supposed to associate it with like, oh, she's leaving, but like I get like peanut butter and treats and all sorts of stuff. Well, I had to go somewhere and he couldn't come I was gone for about 3 hours. And I came home and it's like, you open the door and I'm always like, hi everybody, like what's happening, like what's happening. And I could hear the stove like click, 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 where you're
man.
like, so the whole house smelled like gas. No windows were open because I had left the AC on because it was a super hot day and I wanted them to be comfortable. Smoke alarm was going off, so I kind of run up the stairs because I have some stairs right by my front door. And my cast iron pan is completely melted. The stove is on full blast. The house could have blown
really
up.
Scary.
Yeah. And it was kind of weird that nobody called the fire department.
So how bad was it? Really gassy? Like it's been going on for a while.
It was bad.
Jeez, Sarah.
So I'd obviously open all the windows, Otis had, because the smoke alarm was going off, my cat was like hiding in her litter box. Otis was like, terrified. He had peed a little bit because, he didn't know what he did.
Sure.
He probably was like, is there anything cool up on the top of the stove? And like hit it with his paw. And, he's not trying to be like a horrible dog. But it was bad. So
oh my gosh.
Since that situation happened, so fun. We all were okay. I was very upset. I had to sleep on it. I was so upset. I don't even want to tell you the thoughts I had in my head. The next morning, was a new day, and that was the end of that. But I now just take the knobs off the stove.
Every time you leave?
Well, I've only left once since. This is only a couple days ago. Yeah. So I've only had to leave him alone once since then. But I'm like, that's what we're doing. We just take the knobs off. Yeah. They come right off.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that way we don't kill our neighbors. So yay. But on a fun note, because I know that that's sort of like, geez, that's like a really terrible story, Sarah. I did find something that I think some of you might like. And that is Swoveralls. Heather, I bet you're wondering what Swoveralls are.
Oh, I looked it up.
Okay. Well, I bet some of you out there are wondering what they are. So it's overalls with an SW in front of it. Swoveralls.com to be exact. These are overalls made out of sweatpants.
Oh my God. It's like the ultimate.
It's the ultimate. And the site is so silly that it almost seems like a joke, but this is a real product. Overall sweatpants.
Yeah, they're like the ultimate like princess pants.
I mean, we're now in the LA weather where just looking at them makes me hot. So it's not something that I want right now. But I think in the winter I would be pretty into it.
Oh man. I mean, if as long as they come up with, I don't know, maybe I mean they can be cute. I mean they're somewhat cute.
I don't think they're cute outside the home. I don't. I really don't. But I also didn't think that like fancy sweatpants were ever going to be a thing. And,
I agree.
And they are.
Well, here's the thing though. If you're only wearing them at home and then you have to unbuckle the little things at the top every time you go to the bathroom at home, it's kind of high maintenance homeware. I
mean, how often are you going to the bathroom?
Well, I don't know. I'm just like,
it's kind of an easy unbuckle. I mean, not sweatpants. Overalls they're kind of trendy again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, and I don't have any now, but I've definitely worn overalls as an adult before. Like even like with heels sometimes. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, they're really cute. So I get the idea of like comfort and fashion.
Sure.
But Swoveralls, if you have a pair or you get a pair,
or you need
I want to
good
see
gift
a
idea.
photo and I want to know all about them and let Heather know if it's hard to go to the bathroom.
But buy them for your girlfriend. See how she reacts.
Yeah. Buy them for your boyfriend.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah. Swoveralls.com. So, all right, Heather, I'm done.
I love it. Well, I had an interesting interaction with I don't pay a gardener. There's a gardener who comes by every Monday and LA is really into leaf blowers. And we've talked about this before.
Many cities with leaves.
Yeah. I think San Francisco, I don't remember there being a lot of leaf blowers. It was sort of, they didn't have as many trees and leaves. I don't know. But anyway, so he comes by every Monday, super nice guy. He's great. Every once in a while, they've only done this, like he used to water the plants in the front, but not in the back, very inconsistent. And then one day he came in about a month ago and he was with another guy and he started trimming this huge bush that has purple flowers in my front yard. And I like went out there and I was like, no, don't cut this. Like I like it, like, cause it protects you from the street. I love the plant. He never asked me and we've talked before. Like we've had Anyway, so I figured, okay, well, I told him I was super nice about it. Like at that point, I was like, can you just let me know if you want to trim something back?
Yeah.
Cool. And then this last Monday, I see him in the backyard. He's got the leaf blower. It's really loud. And he starts trimming the shit out of this awesome tree in my backyard that has grown really rapidly because of like the whole rain and super bloom thing.
Yeah.
Love it. It gives shade. It's beautiful. I love how lush it is. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And I like open the window. I'm like knocking on the window because it's really loud. He still has the, and I love this guy, super nice. And I wasn't mean to him, but I was so shocked that he was literally like chopping the whole thing down. And I finally got his attention. I was like, please don't cut the tree. Like I really like that tree. And man, did he feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm like, just let me know if you're going to cut something. And I'm so sad. This poor tree is like.
But why was it like an unsafe?
No, not at all. In fact, it's better with it because what it does is it creates, there's shade and then you've got like a little more of a barrier from the.
No, I mean, but like, why would you cut it back then?
I have no idea. That's what I don't understand. Like, why would you just come in there? It's not even that overgrown. Like, it's hard to explain, but it's a smallish tree.
Yeah.
It is not a threat. It has very thin branches and a thin trunk. It's not going to like fall in a storm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know what his reasoning was.
Yeah.
And anyway,
because there are certain trees. There's a tree out in front of my building, right in front of where kind of my front gate is. And, it's a cute little tree. It's sort of at an angle. It's a very leaning tower of tree. But my downstairs neighbor, who kind of acts as like the groundsman also for our little unit here, he cut it back, but it was also like hanging into the fence. So I was like, he didn't like hack it to death,
get that.
But he cut it back a little bit, and I was like, thanks, Fidel. It actually looks better now.
Sure.
But that doesn't sound like what your
This is
situation
backyard.
was.
This isn't in the front yard. This isn't in
Well,
anybody's.
this was like on the street, like
Yeah.
outside on the sidewalk.
That's
It
the
was like
thing.
more of like a hazard for people.
See, I get that. And I don't know. I don't know what his reasoning is, but I think I sort of like
You frightened him?
Well, I think he really felt bad, and I didn't want to frighten him, but I also was sad to see him drag away these
Yeah.
large, beautiful, I don't even know what kind of tree it is, but like very
And, like,
lush
healthy.
branches, so healthy.
Yeah, that's so strange.
So typical to happen on a Monday.
Maybe he's an inconstant gardener and he needs a little bit of help.
I know, maybe so. Maybe he's like, oh man, I am just craving to cut something down today. I got to do it. Maybe I'll be
Maybe
discreet.
it makes him
and
feel like he's
a man?
indispensable.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Like I've got a job to do and I'm
Yeah,
going to
and I'm
cut
gonna
some
do
shit
it.
down. Well,
Anyway, that's my story.
you mentioned that you saw a horror movie that was a lot of fun earlier this week, and I've got something fun I'm watching too. It's
Cool.
very different. It's called Double Shot at Love.
Ooh.
It's an MTV show starring Vinny and Pauly D from Jersey Shore.
Oh my gosh.
And it is a reality show about a bunch of women who want to date them. We've seen this show in many incarnations before. I happen to be a Jersey Shore fan, always have been. Wonderful program, as are their spin-off shows and their reunion shows. But this is, and when I say it's a great show, I mean, wink, wink, worst guilty pleasure ever. Anybody who's seen the show, even if you enjoy it, will agree that it's real bad. Real bad.
That's why it's so good.
That's why it's so good. Yeah, it's just garbage. It's the sort of show that you like. I'm in the other room cooking and it's on,
Sure.
and like I don't even really need to watch it. It's
Keeps you
background
company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just fun. Or if I fall asleep, I'm not gonna like even bother rewinding. You just like go to the
Totally.
next episode. It's okay. So this is why it's so great. Because reality shows, especially reality shows where it's like this setup, like a bunch of women who live in a house who are vying for the male's attention, or the opposite. And, everyone's like dressed up really skanky, and there's a lot of alcohol. And the producers behind the scenes are like encouraging them so that they'll act stupid, which they do. And then there's like, everybody's sort of like, oh, like you kissed him and like, no, I'm jealous. And I'm like, you've been here for like 3 days. And you're obviously just like trying to become a TV star, or you wouldn't do something like this, which is like a pretty humiliating experience.
Sure.
You're just hoping to kind of stand out and like get some notoriety somehow. And inevitably, because this is such a formulaic show, and like I don't even watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. People love those shows. I can't even deal with it for whatever reason. Like those are like too horrible for me, but Double Shot of Love is not. But like you will get these contestants, like it's like 20 women, and they all, someone will be sent home, and it gets down to like 3, and then it's like really exciting, like who will they choose? And some of them are clearly just planted there to be like extra crazy so that you get some drama and, there's some fights
gotta have
and
the
stuff
drama.
like that. Yeah, it's like, it's totally fake. I don't think that everybody on the show is necessarily fake, but like there was like a woman she got sent home. Well, she actually sent herself home, but she just was like, I hate it here, and like left. She didn't have to get dismissed, but she was like a yoga instructor and like kept talking about like organic chicken and like, is this chicken organic? And was like a really weird dancer, and just like she was so bananas that I'm like, well, this is fake. Like you can just tell.
Sure. It was like scripted.
Yeah, like no one's that weird.
Yeah.
Or would have gone on a show like this to be that weird. It's just like, I guess it's possible, super improbable. But like I've gotten to the point where, because we're producers, so I'm always watching this from a producer perspective.
Sure.
Like, how do you like pull this off? What is that set made of? Like,
I do that all
like,
the time.
oh, that was a really bad Frankenbite. Like all that, like that's why I find them so fun. Frankenbite meaning like you cut something together to make it sound like someone said it a certain way, but they didn't.
And it's kind of scrappy.
It's super scrappy. Yeah. Like you're just like, you're going at top speed. And I'm really enjoying the show.
I love doing that
for that
stuff.
reason, because it is like I've said before, it's like it's bad candy. Like I'm just like I'm like rotting my teeth watching it, and I don't care.
You know, it's funny. I look up a lot of those goofs like on movies and stuff, and I actually was looking at the Jim Jarmusch movie last night. There was one goof that was funny. There was a scene where someone was trying to get out the back door of a cop car, and they got out, and like you're not really supposed to get out the back of a cop car door because they're locked from the inside.
Was that hard? Like
it was a mistake, I think. Oh, but it was just like I love seeing those things and being like, oh, they forgot about that, or maybe it was on purpose. I don't know. But this was just a goof. I like to look up goofs in stuff because I find it interesting when people script supervisors forget.
You know, it's funny. I worked on a movie. It is as yet unreleased, so I'll let y'all know if it ever gets released. But a couple years ago, and I kind of came into it a little bit later as a producer once they had shot a bunch of stuff. So there was like a really early cut. You know, there was a lot of work to do still and stuff to shoot, but they had a fair amount of footage already. And there was one scene where I'm like, it's like a cop talking to a person. That's why I thought of it, because you mentioned police car. And I'm like, why is he like in the shadows? Like you can't even see his face. This is very bizarrely lit, you know? And they were like, it's because he shaved. And we like didn't realize, like no one really thought about it until afterwards. So we like kind of like tried to like save
Cover
it
up. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to reshoot this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like it's too strange.
Yeah, there's no way. That's why,
because it's like I see what you're doing, and like kudos to you for like noticing, because it would have been weird.
Yeah,
like you got facial hair, then you don't, then you do again. Yeah, it don't work because it was not shot sequentially. But I was like, you can't just have like a character who's like masked
in the shadows
for no reason, just like I was like stressed out, like this scene is really weird, like why we're never gonna see his face.
It's so funny. You know, it's fun that would be an interesting reality show to follow around like script supervisors, because it's such a specific job. That's your job to make sure there's no inconsistencies happening on set with the script. And you know, it's a very Hollywood job. You're not going to have a script supervisor on a scrappy, lower budget shoot, that kind of thing. That's really just the producer's job.
Well, I mean, look at Game of Thrones and the Starbucks cup, right?
Exactly.
It turns out it wasn't Starbucks, but like everyone said that. It was a coffee cup, though, that would not be in Westeros otherwise. And, you know, it's like, that is one of the biggest budget TV shows ever, and shit still happens.
Oh yeah,
it just does.
It's just messy,
you know. And you know, to be able to like point that out and really not have anything else to point out. There was actually one other thing that the folks on Binge Mode did point out, but we won't. That'll be a rabbit hole we don't need to get down. Anyway, Double Shot at Love. If anyone else is watching the show and wants to talk about their favorite and their least favorite contestant, please join our Discord. That's available for patrons at the $10 per month and up level. And let's talk garbage television.
Sounds fun. I might join in.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like your kind of show, Heather.
No, it doesn't.
But stranger things have happened.
I know, it's true. I have watched a few reality shows, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
This subject I think you're going to be excited to talk about.
Well, I better.
Because you and I talk about this actually a fair amount. Okay. And we also live in the same neighborhood. So you probably know about a little app called Nextdoor. Mm-hmm. And it started in 2011, and it was just supposed to be sort of a social network for neighborhoods, you know. So it's like you sign up, and you have to sign up with the neighborhood you live in. Yeah. And people post things, everything from, you know, it's basically started out to be sort of this, like, you know, it's still very helpful. It's a really awesome app on so many levels, but it's turned into honestly one of the most amusing, full of drama apps.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I talk about it with my friends like all the time, like just stuff that's happening in their neighborhood. It's like hilarious. You know, and there's been a lot of articles lately about just how Nextdoor is so helpful. Like this woman like forgot her passport from the airport, and then one of her neighbors you know, got it to her, you know, in time and that kind of thing. And then you've got also the people who are like, you know, the guy who's complaining about like this old car that's parked in the neighborhood that's making the neighborhood look bad. And he's, you know, really grousing about it. You know, your lawn is too long, or the crazy guy with the sledgehammer, you know, walking down the street, or like,
I saw that one. It was like, anyone know what's up with the guy on the sledgehammer? he didn't swing at me or anything, but it seems dangerous.
Yeah, like suspicious man on bike, or last weekend a great one was a pig was loose in our neighborhood. I thought that was very amusing.
The pig was reunited with its family.
Oh, it was. I didn't see that.
Yes, there was an update. Heather and I live in the same neighborhood, so we're obviously reading the same stuff. Well, next door gets a bad rap.
It does.
Because, and like you said, some of it's like, it's a combination of like helpful, people bitching about stuff that they just like don't need to bitch about. But there's also, it's been accused of like racial profiling and, you know, someone being like, hey, a weirdo seems to be like walking around my neighborhood too much. And it's like, you know, and he's, you know, of a different race than me. And I feel weird about it. And people are like, might be your neighbor just like walking his dog. You know, it's just, you get a lot of that stuff. And there are also kind of this like neighborhood watch, like we're the crime beat, where you're like, you know, you're not a police officer.
It's so fun.
You might want to leave this to the pros. But yeah, there was and then you kind of get like, I think that there's enough folks who realize that there's such a mishmash of posts, next door that you kind of have to laugh about it. Like have you seen like our local next door like comic where he'll go like, wild squirrel just loose?
Oh yeah, totally. And there's like a little,
and like people are like, what do you mean? And it's like, he's trolling you.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Or like he wrote like, socks still not dry after being in dryer. I love it. Any tips?
I love it. It's so great.
And people are like, oh, you need to clean your lint thing, you know? Or I'm like, dude, it's the same guy over and over. Like, come on, guys. Like, don't you understand?
Always gonna
like,
be that guy.
He's trying to like be funny.
I think it's amazing. Yeah. There's also like Twitter, you know, accounts like worst of next door, best of next door.
Totally.
Those are fun. There was someone that was looking for a type of acid to like keep, you know, burglars away, you know, kind of thing.
What?
Yeah. And there's
why?
Obviously
because you're going to throw it in their face?
Oh, and there's a lot of that. Like there's so much animal stuff where it's like lost kitten.
Yeah.
There's a skunk that's injured. Also, there's a big thing right now where, you know, and this is something I'll urge you guys not to do, is put, you know, poisonous material that's like helping your plants grow or something in your front yard, because it does kill animals.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing signs around that there's a sign of a cat that died from that, and like, you know, owners are putting like signs out front, please don't put pesticides,
of course,
poisonous things out front. Also the it's funny though, because what made me think about the Nextdoor app, I was like, is this the decline of our civilization, or is this like the best thing ever? You know, it's like kind of a little bit of both.
I'm not sure I would say it's a decline. I think it brings out the worst in people at times.
It does, for sure.
But for the most part, there's a lot. We live in an active community.
We do. This is a very community-based neighborhood. It's
community-oriented, and so a lot of activity in Nextdoor I find very helpful. In a neighborhood I used to live in, San Francisco, all it was like, another guy shit on my car, you know, or like, it was just like really a bummer. It was all about crime, and there was a lot of crime. And there's crime in our neighborhood too, but it's definitely more of like a, hey, anybody want a loaf of bread? I just baked some bread.
Or like any dinner restaurant recommendations.
Yeah, or like, hey, anybody want to like organize like a group hike to look at these like new perennials?
Or like free succulents, you know. It's funny. It's sort of a real life reality show in a way, you know, and because it spreads rumors. Like I think rumors get spread by this app. Like, for example, there was a note, some people were freaking out that they were going to put a Starbucks drive-through in an area that doesn't feel very Starbucksy, you know, an area that was like,
I mean, that's happening, I think.
Well, it's not.
Oh.
I found out that basically people assume
because there was a sign.
It got torn down. This building got torn down really quickly. There was a sign, and then, you know, people just believed it, but it's not true. The owner kind of like, I think he was on like the East Side or one of the websites that talks about what's going on in neighborhoods, was saying, look, you guys, this is not happening.
Oh.
At least that's what I read on there. So it's funny that they were really...
People were up in arms.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh no! You know, another Starbucks, and it's a drive-through. You know,
well, that would be kind of crazy in the location that it was. It would have been like, oh man, that would have ruined that street. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would have changed the street like
highly trafficked
immensely.
Street. It doesn't feel like it's the right. I don't know. I mean, there was just before.
Yeah, sure.
There's one more next door, and it's. I wish I had the post up right now, or I'd read it verbatim, but. And I don't think it was a joke. And the people in the comments couldn't make sense of it either way. But it was a guy who was saying, shot in the dark. I know this is going to be really weird. But a friend of mine is conducting research on Chernobyl.
I saw this one.
And I'm wondering if anybody has soy sauce packets from pre-Chernobyl that like might be in like just a really old drawer, or like someone who knows somebody who's very elderly who lives around here, because he's like trying to like test
It's incredible.
soy sauce, because I guess this particular brand would have come from the region,
Sure.
or I don't even know.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and people are like, "What? Are you kidding?" And then other people being like, I'll look in my grandma's, junk drawer. Like, it might be there."
People keep those things. In fact, I just threw away a bunch because I'm like, I'm never going to eat these.
Pre-Chernobyl,
I know, it's
you
insane.
really shouldn't eat that soy sauce, even
No.
no matter where it's from.
For testing, fine.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's funny. What if Nextdoor didn't exist? It is kind of interesting. There's a lot of very extremely helpful things that, maybe it was a phone book previously, or a message board, or obviously Craigslist is sort of similar in some ways, but
Yeah.
I think the moral of the story is definitely be kind to your neighbors, because you just don't know what they might be watching you.
Yeah, it is. I would say it is closer to Craigslist than anything else.
so
but
too.
Craigslist is organized in such a like 90s sort of
Yeah.
way, and yes, it has evolved a little bit, but it's still sort of like, okay, what's your region? Okay, here are like 5 billion categories of like whatever you'd want.
Yeah.
And Nextdoor is sort of like, what's your neighborhood more
Exactly.
specifically?
It's more intimate.
Well, and
'Cause
there's
you have more
and
back
there's-
and forth,
and there's a
and-
comment system and threaded threads and conversations. And
Do you comment on do you ever?
I don't really comment on other people's things, but I will thank.
I know. I love
There's
the
a-
thank button.
There's a thank button when I feel
big
like
smiley
someone's done a
face.
good deed, or because I follow the pet stuff too.
It's fun to
That's
thank.
one of my little categories that I'm like following, and so someone will be like, found a little kitten, you know, and fostered it. I'm always like thank.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Nextdoor has become something that I really look forward to looking through at least once a day.
It's like the one thing I get notifications for.
I don't get notifications
Other than words
for
with
that.
friends.
I can't get notifications for anything. I can't. It'll just make me insane. Except Slack, like for work stuff. I will do that because
because then you'll never see it.
I can't be out of pocket.
Sure.
But otherwise, no notification. Maybe next door, maybe I'll turn it on. We'll see.
It's
We'll
fun
see.
because then you're sitting there, you're having a mellow Saturday, and then, like the pig thing comes up, and I'm like, I'm going to look for the pig. I actually went out. I didn't like go look through bushes, but I went in the general vicinity because it's right down the street from me, and I just kind of poked around and like kept my eye out for it. I wish I would have come across it. That would have been all I came across were lizards, really.
Yeah. There are a lot of lizards in this
Lots of
neighborhood.
lizards. In fact, I saw one the other day that was like way bigger and more interesting like than a regular lizard. It had the longest tail. It almost looked like a tiny little alligator. It was really cool. Anyway.
Maybe it was just well fed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So.
Hard to say.
Yep.
Hey, everybody, we've mentioned Patreon, but just real quickly again, we're going to plug the way that we make the money that we use to produce the show.
Make the cheddar.
Yeah, we listen, this is a, we're a proud but modest show here at Have Such a Good Day. But Patreon is the way that our community helps us make the show, helps our bottom line, and helps us grow the show into what we would like it to be, but we can't do it without your support. For everybody who's already supporting us as patrons, thank you so much. If you've stumbled upon the show for the first time, or you're considering maybe being a patron, this is the time to do it. Patreon.com/have such a good day is where you find out a lot more about the show, about Heather and me, and about the variety of tiers that you can join. At $1 a month, you are a patron and you get all sorts of goodies, and it goes up from there.
Yeah, it's a really sweet contribution, and we're ad free, for now.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of it is we want to keep it ad free, but we also really need to grow the audience.
We do.
It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, we need to grow our Patreon in order to not have ads. So we're not threatening anything. This is and there's no foreshadowing at all going on here. But that's just something that we know we need to do. We're coming up on a year of doing the show, and we love doing the show, and we'll do it forever as long as we can. So if you can be part of the Patreon community, today's the day. And if you can't, that's cool too. We understand that everybody's got their own stuff going on. Life is complicated. Might not be the right time for you. Maybe you know somebody who would like the show. Tell a friend. Tell a neighbor.
Post a bill.
Post it on Nextdoor.
Well, in fact, if you guys want to post bills, let us know at havesuchagoodday.com and we can send you a graphic to print out.
There you go.
That'd be wonderful. We could spread the word around the world.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, take a picture on a telephone pole and we will, I don't know.
And you know what? We'll post it on
thank you.
And in fact, we can, if you guys send us a picture of a bill posted in your town, we can post it on our Instagram and our Facebook.
Absolutely. And our website.
And we'll plug you guys.
And we'll wear them as t-shirts and hats. We'll do whatever. That would be really cool. So thanks
guys.
Thanks, everybody. We love you all. You're the best.
Thanks for listening.
In fact, we have a new patron.
We do have a new patron. We have a patron who was always a patron, but he became a $5 bala. Oh. And that is Bob Odie. So welcome to the $5
Bob, you're the best. You're the best.
Circus.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We don't really ever talk about this, but you can be a patron at any level and change your level.
Sure.
We hope it goes up, but you might be a $10 patron and be like, I don't want to like fully leave, but maybe I got to, pull back a little bit. Like you can adjust your tiers for however is best suited for you, and we will be totally understanding of that and you could support you as you support us.
You could be $1 million patron for 1 month and then not do that.
Yeah,
next month.
You don't have to be $1 million patron for like 6 months. That would be crazy. Just the one. Yeah, come on, you're rich. We know it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, it'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't it be nice to just be like, I can spare $1 million.
Yeah, like just for a good cause.
I can spare it
for having such a good day. I think $1 million is worth it.
Yeah, I'll set that price at $1 million. So, all right. So, Heather, have you ever participated in? You and I are knock on wood. We've always been lucky enough to not really have weight problems. Mm-hmm. We're both relatively healthy. Mm-hmm. We exercise a lot. We try to eat well. I don't always follow through with that. I have better days.
You love nachos. You like mac and cheese.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love garbage food and I treat myself like a garbage receptacle on a regular basis. But I don't really I don't do a lot of dieting because for the most part, my body kind of regulates itself.
Yeah.
And I know as I get older, this will continue to become harder, but we've just gotten lucky in that sense. But I know a lot of folks who, they'll do, it's like a variety of kind of like health challenges, like you 60 days of no sugar, or we're going keto.
Yep.
Or the Atkins
juice
was
diet.
Really big for a while, and there were juice diet, and there are all sorts of things where, and a lot of the like nomenclature has changed because people are like, well, I'm not dieting, I'm doing a cleanse. Where it's like, well, it is a diet. But dieting doesn't always mean like, oh, because I'm overweight.
Sure.
But you're changing your diet.
Yeah.
It's a diet change for a variety of reasons, and a lot of it is like just, for better health.
Yeah. You're trying to also kick a habit or just having better regular like health habits just in general.
Yeah. So I'm not participating in this because I'm not, but some friends of mine who they're, people like some people just love gambling, and it's not just like, oh, I want to go to a casino and gamble, but it's sort of like, care to put a wager on it? Like friendly wagers between friends, like wagers like stress me out. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, it's not even really about the money. I'm just like, can't we just have fun? It's just like, let's just play for fun. Some people love to, it's that betting thing that you just like get a high off of. So I've got some friends who not only feel that their health and weight could be better, but they're betting people. I know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how I find these friends of mine. They're all wonderful. But there are about 5 or 6 of them that are participating in a body mass index challenge. And so that is body mass index being like how much of your body is made up of fat.
Yeah.
Because if the percentage is too high, even if you're not overweight, it's like not good for you. It's like bad for your bones and bad for, your heart and all sorts of stuff. So it just means like you need more muscle mass and, you need to convert that from fat.
Sure.
And so they've got this like challenge going where, because of course everyone at different weights is like, if somebody's 200 pounds and they lose 20 pounds, like if I lost 20 pounds, I would die.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's not, you can't, it has to be more of a percentage thing. So the body mass is like a good percentage so that like everyone can contribute and play, and it's like somewhat even. They're playing for like $2,000.
Whoa.
For the person who loses the most over a certain period of time. You know, going from like, here was my percentage and here's how much, you know, I lost. So it's like a ratio thing. And in order to be like, if you're like, well, how do you know what your body mass index is? Like, unless like you go to like a gym and someone like measures you, which is obviously not a great way to do it. There's something called a DEXA scan. Have you ever heard of these? So it stands for dual energy X-ray absorptiometry.
Whoa.
I know. So
geometry.
Yeah. And so this is something that is used for a variety of reasons. It's used for bone density. So like if somebody might be at risk for osteoporosis, you know, you can kind of, you know, it's also used in some cases of cancer, certain bone cancers, you know, just kind of see if like there's some, if things have deteriorated or gotten better and that whole thing. But it's also used for body fat. And I've never gotten one, so I can't really tell you like what it feels like or anything. From what I understand, it's relatively non-invasive. But so everybody in this challenge, in the friend group of mine, has gotten their DEXA and has posted, like, it's like, you know, public shaming, kind of like, all right, here's where I am. Not feeling good about this. It's like getting on the scale when you know you're not going to like the number that you see. And so it's like it's all out there. And then at the end of this, they're, you know, going to give $2,000 to the person who did the best.
Are people, the bystanders like you, are you guys able to vote for who might win?
It wouldn't
do anything.
We could for fun.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change their.
So there's more
their
than
money.
just you that's not doing it in the friend group. Or is it just you not doing it?
No. It's well, first of all, I just wouldn't do anything for a $2,000 pot because I'm like, I just don't have money to lose. No. You know, like if I wanted to lose weight or somehow get better, it's like, I don't know, it's just going to be a personal thing. Like that's just like,
yeah. Unless you knew you were going to win or something.
And the reason that I kind of I find this all just, it's so hilarious and fascinating. And like, these people are like, they're really taking it seriously. Like this isn't a joke. Like they actually want to be healthier. But it's like, at one point, someone was like, I don't know, maybe the pot's too big. And someone was like, no, that is my incentive. If you bring down the number value, like I am, unincentivized and I'm not going to do it and I'm not going to try as hard and don't screw up and he was like, he was very serious about it.
Wow.
Yeah. And and again, I'm like, this is like, it's a motivator. Sure. Money is a motivator. It
is.
Like
Absolutely.
You want to win so badly because you don't want to lose money. And like, it's just, I am missing the chip in my brain that would think in those terms. Because I'm like, I have money now. I won't gamble it away.
No.
I just won't.
No.
Like, someone will do better than me and I'll lose money. Or I could just keep the money and then it's mine, which is the same way I feel at a casino.
Exactly. I am not a gambler. And yeah, people are really like, their brains are structured differently. Like it is, you either are or you're not.
Right.
And I know some of those people who are like hardcore gamblers and they take it very seriously. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm sure we're missing out on some kind of fun, but
yeah,
not my thing.
I am the last person I like dated long term actually. So it wasn't recently, but we were in Vegas once and we were, just kind of walking through the casino and like, he was mildly annoyed that I refused to participate. And I was like, and I mean, I've gotten this before from people who they're like, you just don't want to gamble. And I'm like, I don't, but I'll watch you. Like, it's not that I don't like being here. I'm just not partying with my money because the house will win eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sure, you might get lucky, but like, if I win $10, like, then I'm really out of here. Like, I won $10. Great. Free money. Money fell out of the sky. But he was like, he kind of harped on me. And after a while, I was like, you got to let it go. You can blow your money if you want to. It was like these really stupid games too, where I'm like, the odds are so bad. Like, why don't we at least play craps or something? But it was, it was like, we kind of like, it was one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, it's that weird gambling thing where I'm like, I'm not giving you a hard time about gambling. Don't give me a hard time about not gambling.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind watching. I'm happy to go into a casino
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
fun.
and I sometimes will play some of the lower stakes stuff, you know, like the just you know the 5-hand, like the poker on the screens,
Sure.
and like stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I love games. Yeah, I just want it to be low stakes. So
Yeah, quarter poker.
Yeah.
That's where you'll find me.
exactly.
Smoking cigarettes next to John Waits.
You mean Tom Waits?
Tom Waits?
Who's like,
John
wait, who's
Waits?
John Waits? There's got to be a John Waits out there. Maybe he's
I'm
listening.
sure there are. John, raise your hand and send us a photo of the bill that you posted to your local telephone call.
Exactly. Hi at havesuchagoodday.com. So Sarah, I know that this probably happens to you. I know that you've been drinking the CBD water. Well,
I had one. And
you,
I haven't.
so you
I haven't
didn't go back for it
It's
for
five,
more.
It's $5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, that's why.
You got to go back to coconut water. It's probably half the price.
You know, coconut water is too sweet for me.
It is pretty sweet.
You can't get coconut water that's unsweet. Well, you can. You can at like a vegan place. In fact, the vegan place up the street from us has some coconut water that's unsweetened, but most of it is just like
It is
garbage.
too sweet. I know. I agree. Well, it's funny. So I was at some random shop down the street, and they had all of their candles were made from coconut, and I was like, wow, like I haven't seen this before, and I had started to think about.
Did they all smell like coconut?
Oh yeah, they're great. I actually really wanted to buy one. They were really nice.
I love the smell of coconut.
I love too. It's my favorite. It's like I've got coconut lotion, a coconut lip balm. Like it's my go-to flavor, if not vanilla. But I love coconut's one of my favorites.
And they're kind of similar sometimes.
Very. Or you have like the coconut and vanilla like mixture. But it's funny, you know, coconut has become such it hasn't become. It's been very popular for years now, but it was usually something you would get in a pina colada.
Right.
You know, years ago it was
Right.
not, the coconut water was not
or an
as
almond joy
ubiquitous
or something.
Exactly. Like you had to seek out a coconut product that was much more rare than it is now.
Sure.
And I just think it's funny. Like there is literally coconut everything now. Coconut water. Just the other day, I realized I had a coconut water, and I had coconut chocolate later that night. I had coconut banana bites and coconut ice cream mint chip that I had that evening. Yes, I had a bunch of sweets that night. I had a coconut.
No judgment and no
Thank
shame
you. I appreciate
here.
that,
This
'cause
is a safe space.
I'm telling you, this coconut ice cream was absolute bomb. But then I'm not even joking. I had a coconut cocktail that was made with coconut water, and it was a mezcal cocktail. It was delicious, very refreshing. And then these coconut candles. And now I came across a coconut man, and I want to tell you about this story about this coconut man, because I find him fascinating.
Didn't know that's where we were going. Okay. All right.
So after I was just, you know, looking up coconuts and just like the whole trend, I came across this coconut crazed guy named August Engelhardt.
Okay.
He's German. And back in 1902, he started, no joke, a coconut eating, sun worshipping cult. Literally, where he fielded people from Europe to come join him on Cabacon Island, which is in New Guinea. Okay. And this is early 1900s, where they would have to eat nothing but coconuts. And the
Were they
reason
just baking in the sun while they did it, or?
Yeah, I mean they were living there. They were reading a lot of books. He was known for
100% coconut diet.
100%. Here's
Wow.
why.
Okay.
He was a little crazy, probably a little off his rocker. He was convinced that the coconut was a miracle food because he always thought that the brain was the most important part of the body, and he thought, well, coconuts
pretty important.
look kind of like a human head.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're also they're very high in the sky. They're worshipped by the sun. You know, they're a very interesting fruit meat.
Yeah.
And that's
meaty.
all you need to stay alive. He thought that there was something very spiritual and magical about coconuts. He thought that they were the grandest of all Earth's harvests. And he thought that they contained everything that you need to live and survive, for nourishment, all that. So that's all he ate. So then I started thinking, oh God, this is crazy. Because what does a coconut have inside it? Like, what are the nutritional?
Caprylic acid for one.
Yeah, exactly. And it also there's a lot of fiber. So I was thinking, like, all these guys like living on this crammed island together, eating only something that has a ton of fiber. Little sketchy, but they have only 3 grams of protein, which is like not very much. What,
like a full coconut?
Yeah, so you'd have to have like 14 coconuts a day to get like your daily recommendation to get enough protein.
You'd be
That'd be
hungry.
insane. And they're really fattening, but there's a lot of potassium, which is super necessary if you don't like bananas. Eat some coconuts. Low sodium, gluten free. It's funny. So the Sanskrit name for coconut tree is actually Kalpa vrishka, and it's a tree that gives all that is necessary for living. And this is kind of like he studied Sanskrit, and so I think that he was sort of like, under this guise of like, oh, the coconut's
August might have been a little nutty.
Yeah, I think he was a little crazy.
A little nutty, no
but I
pun
like
intended.
him. You should see his photograph of him. It is funny. He's sitting in his little library, on this tropical island. He's got all this, hairy thing going on. And I bet he was an interesting guy. But I thought, wow, I mean, can you imagine living that simply? You're just like, sometimes I crave
think it would
that.
I think it would get a little monotonous. I love a good coconut. I love fresh coconut
Me too.
water.
I love coconut.
Like hack a little, put a straw in the coconut. In fact, some fellas down on a busy street near us will sell coconuts that they've
like the traffic backs up and then they.
I've bought several.
Really?
Where I'm like, because it's very refreshing.
Oh yeah, and
people
it's not
say,
as sweet.
oh, it's good for hangovers. I don't know if that's true or not, but I love drinking coconut water straight out of the coconut.
Me too. It's my favorite. I love when I go to a tropical island. That's like why I'm always looking for those vendors, on the side of the road. I want to crack. Oh God, I actually like the water better than eating the straight coconut, but I love like a pina colada. I love the flavor of coconut like more than probably anything on a sweet side of things, I think. But yeah, that's my coconut story.
I am a big fan of coconut oil for a variety of reasons. I mentioned caprylic acid before. Coconut oil is not the only thing that has that, but it's known as like anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial. Just like you're like, oh, that sounds like a good oil.
It's good for your skin.
Yeah, but not only that, it also can. It has a higher heat threshold than olive oil, and a lot of people don't realize like if you heat olive oil too much, like it actually has to have fairly low heat or it starts to turn.
Yeah.
Like it's like you burn it and you actually like burn off the good qualities of it, and you actually can in some cases like make it dangerous for yourself. Like it like turns into what's the word?
Carcinogen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So coconut oil has a higher threshold. What else does? I think avocado oil is up there.
So what benefits do you get from cooking with coconut oil? Do you know?
Well, it's the anti-inflammatory.
Yeah. Okay. So you get that from actually heating it up.
As
long as you don't.
You don't have to heat it up. It's just that you can heat it at a higher level for a longer time than you can with certain other oils that are more common for cooking. Now, I've got a big old tub of coconut oil that I don't always use it because it does have not a coconut like pina colada kind of coconut.
It's a subtle coconut vibe.
But there is. Now, I will run out of olive oil, which I use almost exclusively. Sometimes I use butter, but mostly olive oil. I will run out every so often. And the coconut oil, I always kind of have on hand. And I will make like eggs and toast with coconut oil. And it does taste different, but it doesn't taste bad.
It's funny.
And you kind of get used to it.
You do. And there's certain things that I would be like, I don't know if I want to cook with coconut oil because of the flavor. But like there's one theater that does pops of popcorn with coconut oil.
Ooh,
that sounds love good. The way it tastes. And it's not, it's not like a super like blatant coconut thing.
No.
It's subtle enough. Oh, I almost like it better than butter. It's so good.
Yeah. So
I don't think they pop that anymore. I think now they're doing Orville Redenbacher's, which is kind of a bummer, but
kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Orville Redenbacher probably doesn't have a coconut flavor, and if so,
probably not.
It's probably synthetic.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, good. So we're in agreement that coconut is going to save us all. And let's all move to New Guinea and call it a day.
Life. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe the monotony is what we need. You don't have to have a conversation about what are we going to make for dinner. It's a coconut, Heather.
Oh, seriously.
That's what we're making.
It'd probably fill you up.
Probably. Well, on that note, I think we should shout out some kind folks who sent us emails because we love your emails and we want to get more of them before we wrap up this show.
Yeah. So Kevin Silverman wrote us and said, Sarah mentioned in the last episode that she sometimes feels not that attractive as other times. I suppose this is possible, but as a 40-year-old guy seeing her on TV and video for almost 20 years, I don't think she has much to worry about right now. All that matters is what makes you happy, like those beans. I need hummus now.
Oh, Kevin.
And this is in reference to Sarah she talked about beans about an episode or two back.
Yeah.
And I,
well, it was a Medium post about beans that was very it was this person was celebrating beans of all kinds, and I related to it. Kevin, that's very sweet of you. You and I are around the same age. I think I could probably scare you on a bad day. Just as we all understand, bad hair day. Sometimes it's a bad all over day.
Sometimes it's how you feel on the inside, and then you
Sure.
don't look as bad as you think.
But I'm glad to hear that you don't think I am a cretin monster just yet. Give me another decade.
So what about Brett? What did Brett Stewart say?
Brett Stewart said 2020 South Michigan.
2120
South Michigan, which was a new patron of ours from the last episode. And we said, like, South Michigan sounds like a street in Chicago. Brett says, indeed it is. It's the address of the old Chess Records building, which you can still go today. It's a museum. The Stones recorded an album there and named it after the address. I did not know that, Brett. That's really good trivia. For what it's worth, Chicagoans and tourists alike don't go enough. Kind of a hole in the wall nowadays. It's run by the Dixon family. I don't know who the Dixons are, but I'm sure they're very nice. And Brett says it's a must visit for any rock or blues fan. Highly recommend going down there when you're in Chicago.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome. We were wondering about that because we were like, ooh, cool, an address is following us. You know?
Yeah, 2120.
So show yourself.
Well, and I'm glad
you don't have to.
I'm glad we were right, because as we mentioned, like, there are probably lots of Michigan avenues around the U.S.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But we got the one right.
I love it.
It was at least our hypothesis.
Thanks for letting us know, Brett. That's super interesting.
Yeah, you're great.
And Bob Odie, he's wonderful. He's been communicating with us a little bit more on Facebook, which is really great. You guys can do the same. We have a Facebook page. Just search Have Such a Good Day. We try to keep that thing going. He says, you ladies are the bomb. Yep, I'm old. Hence the old school comments. Seriously, I find Have Such a Good Day very entertaining and refreshing.
That's sweet.
Thanks, Bob. That's super sweet. It's so nice to hear that.
Yeah, it is.
We just want a million other people to think that.
I remember my dad used to say, you're a bomb. And I'm like, no, it's the bomb. You don't just call someone a bomb. That's like totally different. And then it sort of became a joke where he would do it on purpose. But Bob, we don't care how you say it. Compliments are always appreciated. Thank you. And so is criticism. We'll cry about it and we'll feel really bad about it, but we'll take it as long as it's constructive.
We might not have such a good day hearing it, but
there's
always tomorrow.
Right. We're a team. We're all a team here. It takes a village. All right, Heather, let's wrap up this show. But remember, $5 and up patrons, there is a bonus topic to come. We're going to play games. For everybody else, it's been real. And we'll do this again next week. Until then, I'm Sarah.
I'm Heather.
And have such a good day.
Bye.
Bye.